Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Maybe you can make a connection between Ukraine war and Bill Gates. You might think, what the is Emil talking about? Well, I don't know. I heard that Mr. Bill Gates is the biggest private owner of land, like the cultivation land, the one that you can, let's say, cultivate wheat. And Russia is his main global competitor. Let me show you. Look at this, my friends. An article from Russia Today, 21st of January 2024. Russia could control 30% of global wheat exports. French foreign minister. This guy is the 38-year-old boyfriend of the 34-year-old appointed Prime Minister of France. Two ex, whatever they were in a marriage, whatever that is, companionship, lovingship, something. And you think it's not the 34-year-old appointed the 38-year-old. Now, if I, let's say, have a ex-girlfriend or an ex-wife, but not ex-wife, because if you have an ex-girlfriend, let's put it that way, and then we separate, and then I get to be the prime minister, and I appoint her as the foreign minister. Wouldn't you think that for the good times I do that for all those nights and days? No, don't you think that would be something because of that? Pink champagne and no, squeaky. Ha! Oh my! These guys are just doing it right in the open. So let's read what's going on with this guy here. Is it correct to say that? I don't give a fuck. Stéphane Séjourne expects France to face inflation and a food crisis if Ukraine is defeated. Okay, so again, scare tactics over and over again. Russia could take control over nearly a third of global wheat exports if it wins the military conflict in Ukraine. With Ukraine. But you don't have to be Russia's enemy. Did you think of that? Why should you be, why don't you negotiate with Russia? Like, for instance, why don't you do business? You buy your for your nuclear power plants, you buy your nuclear fuel from others. You don't produce it all. You take it, you extract it, you do business. So why can't you do business with Russia? You see, that's another idiotic thing. Oh, it's going to be 30%. I know countries that have, 50% of the global lithium for the batteries. Nobody cares about that, and you do business with them. Or they take over if they can. But these guys want to take over that. They don't want to do business with Russia. They want to take over. The same with gas. Remember when these guys were saying, "Oh, Russia," telling the Europe, Russia, Germany, you could be blackmailed by Russia if with the gas and oil. And the guys should have said, yeah, but if you take over that, you could blackmail us. Oh no, I'm the good guy, believe me. That's exactly what happened. They kicked Russia out. Now United States LNG can blackmail Europe, but because United States of America is the good guy, no, it won't do this ever. Because that's how it is, man. That's how it is. So let's see. Russia could take control, and Bill Gates is crying. In such a scenario, okay, my friends, I can give you scenarios. It's going to be like this. When the Russians take over all Ukraine, they're going to share with the world, with France, everything. We're going to invite Séjourne and say, Séjourne, can you help us distribute to the poor of the world? And that's what's going to happen. That's the scenario I make. Or if not, it's going to be my favorite one. Jesus Christ will going to have his second coming. And when he comes over, all that wheat is going to turn into love. We're going to all love one another. All right, I can give you more scenarios of this kind as Séjourne gives us. If Ukraine controls 30% of the world exports, will fall under Russian control, putting French wheat under threat on international markets, he said, adding that financial aid is highly important for Ukraine's President Vladimir Zelensky, as he needs to show his people that he's still supported. I have so many things to say. I know that his the other guy, is half Jewish. I've been told that this is half Jewish. Zelensky is full Jewish. When you talk about show his people, who exactly are Zelensky's people? I would like to know. I mean, everything I said with a maybe, that's a maybe. That's sure, Sejourn is not. But everything I said, it shouldn't upsetting you, because everything I said is true. Everything I said is true. The current foreign minister of France, the appointed one, he's half Jew. His father was Jew. Nothing wrong with that, but that's the fact. Are you upset with that? Why would you be? You should celebrate, as many of celebrate. Zelensky is full-blown Jewish. Zhmyhal, the prime minister of Ukraine, is full Jewish. Yermak, the president's office chief, is full Jewish. What's the other guys? Reznikov, the former defense minister of Ukraine, is full Jewish, I think, but he was Jewish anyway. Saps is full Jewish, the defense minister of Great Britain. Blinken, the foreign minister of the United States, is half. Mayorkas is also the NSA chief. And Victoria Nuland, the undersecretary of State Department, below of Blinken, is full Jewish. Just all these are just coincidences, okay? Because I cannot name Romanians in any of this kind of position in the whole world. Or I can't name, let's say, Germans in the whole world of the same. Or let's say, I know, Mexicans or Zimbabweans. But do not connect any dots. I forbid you. So anyway, when we're talking about his people, what are you talking about? If I move tomorrow to Zimbabwe, let's say I have a Romanian wife, and we move to Zimbabwe, and we're going to have children over there, they will be Zimbabweans. But do you think there will be Zimbabweans or going to be, you know what I mean? Anyway, so yeah, his people. It depends how you feel, right? How you feel. No, it's not. Science, we still have science over there. You don't believe me? Just go and do your ancestry.com test for your genetics. And I'm going to tell you what you are. It's just you have to pay. And I tell you exactly what you are. Why don't you say just you're a human being? That's it. Yeah. After the UN brokered Black Sea grain deal fell through, after 1 year, it was not updated, Ukrainian producers had to export grain to the territories of neighboring states. Okay, we got that. The measures prompted several major protests in European agricultural producers. That's a different story. The point is this. If, let's say, the Russians get 30% of the wheat, as someone used to say, well, if it's not the Russians, it's someone else. Well, my question would be, if it's not the Russians, it's someone else. Let's say it's United States of America. You know what you're going to tell me? Yeah, but the Americans are the good ones. Well, why don't you just Google the past 30 years and see how great they did in Yugoslavia, Iraq. I know, the same guys, Afghanistan, Libya, Syria. Now you got Ukraine. You have now with Yemen. You're gonna have in Taiwan. You're gonna have the woodchuck in North Korea. See how great things are. You can look at if you want right now in the Balkans, and it's not over. You see, all these things were fantastic record. I don't like the characterization. Not I don't like. It's fake. The characterization of the good people and the bad people. There's no such thing. That's in the Bible and other. No. In reality, there's no a good person and a bad person. You can say it's a mostly good person or mostly bad person, because I don't think there is such a person of only bad or evil or only good, unless we talk in terms of religious dogmas. They tell us it's the most evil, that's and there's the saint. You just look a little bit under the carpet or behind the curtains and you're going to find garbage. So all these myths that are created, like for instance, Martin Luther King, Reverend, Doctor, Minister, whatever, look at his love and communism connection and so on. Look at his, some people say, I'm not saying that's true, but look into the plagiarism, for instance. You want Nelson Mandela? Most of us think, most of you maybe, think, or them, think that Nelson Mandela was just imprisoned by South Africans because he was fighting apartheid. Well, that's not why he was imprisoned. He was imprisoned because he was found guilty of bombarding civilians, school buses. His faction, he was even commanding from the jail, as far as I can read. I mean, if you don't believe me, why don't you go and read? It's not me just blowing out my ass. You want to find out, what's his name? Not Nelson, I already talked about Nelson Mandela. Mahatma Gandhi. Oh, Mahatma Gandhi. Well, why don't you find out about him sharing the bed with his teenager great-grand nieces or something like this, minors. And his reason was to test my strength, and I'm not gonna them. Or you want another hypocritical thing? Remember when his wife got sick? He said, you can't take antibiotics. That's against our blah, blah, blah. But when he was sick, what did he do? Blah, 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 blah. So these myths and others, my point is not trying to take a shit on those guys. My point is that these guys create myths, but they have good things and bad things. It's just the proportion. All right, the same with the United States of America, with Russia, with China, with Iran, with North Korea. Yeah, they have bad stuff, but can't you find anything good about it? And the same with individuals. In this case, these guys are telling us that if Russia has 30%, we're all doomed. That's why we have to kill them. That's basically what these guys say. We have to fight them. Well, that's one thing. The other one is if they give you gas, cheap gas, they can potentially blackmail you. Everyone can blackmail everyone. Oh, and you say, well, you have to diversify. Yeah, you have to diversify, but sometimes you don't. For instance, let me tell you, in a neighborhood, no, in a city, in a town, I buy from one store. Why? Their products are the best. I like them the best. That means they can blackmail me? No, because if that happens, I'm going to go to the next store, and the next store, and the next store. I buy almost all products in one store. I'm talking about great groceries. That's it. There are some others around, but I like this one. Why? Most of the products I want, I like the price and I like how they look and the benefits from buying them. So the same here. You don't like the Russian gas? Get rid of it. Buy from, I don't know, from space, from the Americans. You don't like the Americans? Buy someone else, if the Americans allow you. That's the point. So the same thing with this. Oh, it's the wheat. Oh, it's not the same thing. The wheat. Okay, buy from the Americans. Oh, it is what it is. These kind of things with, how should I put it? And some game, is that how they call it? Is, oh, that's all we got. I mean, if we were to think about this, you remember Thomas Malthus, the Malthusian population control? That's a scenario under which it's not it's a theory that at one point, which will happen, the resources of this planet cannot feed the population, and therefore we're going to have a lot of problems, if you know what I mean. So Malthus, Thomas Malthus, I think it was 1800 something. So read about that guy. So the same, he said that then we are at the verge of the famine. We're going to all be starving if we keep. What was then the 1 billion people on this planet when he lived? Now we're what, 7? And we're 7 times more. Why? We find methods, bad methods, I would say, unhealthy methods, to plant them closer. Remember, for instance, look at corn. Just look when I say, oh, the corn came from the Americas. Yes, the corn came from Americas, but don't you see the drawings made by the Europeans when they came and how corn was growing? One here, one there, and what was the yield? Nothing. With that one, you can't feed a population, but it was those smart people who genetically modified it, and they breed them, and they made it that they yield much more instead of one little fucking little shit. Look at the banana. Do you think the bananas that you eat right now are the ones some smart people from a certain place on this planet made them that you enjoy them? Look at the watermelon. When they got the watermelons, go look and see how they were first. When you see, oh, the watermelon, the red stuff, it's all red, blah, blah. Look how it was, a little piece of garbage in there in a watermelon like this. And many, many other things were modified by these smart people. You don't like it, but that's the truth. Nothing I'm saying here is just, oh, you don't like it. That's a different story because you feel maybe, not you, some feel, oh my God, he's pushing, but it's a fact. It's a fact. What do you want me to say? Would you rather have that or this, then shut the fuck up. Corn is the second most modified crop on this planet. I avoid to eat corn. I don't eat corn as much as I can. I don't drink anything with corn syrup and like, because it's modified garbage. Most of them are, but try to minimize. I'm not talking about the organic. Organic is another giving. Organic. Yeah, you eat organic, meaning what? Yeah. Let me give you this. I think, at least in the Western world, each and every seed that is planted called organic, it was somewhere modified sometime in the past. Every little fucking thing. Unless you have the grain, or you have the seed from the, I don't know, Fertile Crescent, about 13,000 years ago. If you have a seed from then, that's not modified. If you buy something now, or you say, oh, this is organic, using what kind of seed, you idiot? Okay, we use only natural fertilizer. From what? From cows? Okay, what did you feed them? What did those cows eat? What did they drink? How were those guys fed? And so on. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Do business, negotiate. That's what I'm talking about. Let's fight because of our boy over there, and let's make it like it's your interest because those guys are gonna starve you. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.